My name is Joe Mooney and I'm a lecturer here in social work in the School of Social Policy, Social Work and Social Justice here at UCD. And I suppose when I joined UCD in 2019, one of the first things I wanted to do was to take some teaching and learning courses to gain a qualification, but also to get some more insight into the process of teaching and learning at university level. I took 4 modules to complete the postgraduate diploma in teaching and learning. And I suppose what those modules did was they exposed me to new ways of thinking about teaching and learning, but also challenged my current perceptions and some of my current approaches to teaching and learning. Initially, I took the feedback and assessment module, and that really forced me to think about why we're assessing and what we're assessing. It also challenged my thinking on module design, and as opposed to creating content and started developing assessments around how to judge students' knowledge of that content, I really had to flip it on its head. And one of my big learnings out of that module was to consider, what is it I want students to come out of the module with? How do I assess that, to say that they've come out of the module with that knowledge? And then the content feeds into that. So the content almost comes last. And that was a really big learning that I carried through the teaching and learning modules. Following this, I took the Becoming a Better University Teacher module. And I suppose that really provided a critical space within that module to reflect on what my teaching philosophy was and how to think a little bit deeper about that and more informed about that, and to discuss with colleagues. And that ultimately challenged me or provided me with different methods I could think about or adopt in order to promote that teaching philosophy to the best benefits of the students in the class. Following the Becoming a Better University Teacher, I took a Teaching Across Cultures module, and I found this really useful in terms of challenging the content that I was using, particularly in my modules. We have quite a diverse cohort of students on the Social Work Masters programme here in UCD, but at the same time, it really challenged me in terms of the literature I was using, the resources I was using, where those resources were coming from. Did those resources and pieces of literature speak to all students across the class? And really working from a student-centric basis to build content and course material. And that's something I adopt, but I'm eager to continue to develop as I progress through UCD. The final piece of the postgraduate diploma jigsaw for me was the designing curriculum modules. And this was really the icing on the cake for me in terms that it really challenged and forced me to adopt all of the knowledge that I'd gained across the 4 modules and look at how that can be implemented in a student-centric way into the modules that I'm building and the modules that I'm designing. I found that really useful in terms of taking a student's perspective on the materials, the content, the delivery of that content, how accessible that content was. And one of the real benefits out of that module was earning the University Design for Teaching and Learning badge through the module as well. The other benefit outside of all of that across the 4 modules was really the opportunity to explore my teaching and learning with colleagues across the university, but also more specifically across different disciplines.